the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. First down, going to get about 3 before he's taken down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Hey, a confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
A first down carry for Barkley. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, the ultimate result was an incomplete pass. They sure look like a well-coached team because once he got outside of the pocket, the scramble rules come into effect. And a lot of the guys who ran deep routes, they come back closer to the line of scrimmage. And the running back usually runs a check down. He took it deep, and they gave it a big shot and came up unsuccessful.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Well, a shaky start for both quarterbacks now. We had the interception on the opening drive, and now they throw it right back to him.
So does that mean we're really kind of starting from the beginning, Brandon, right? Both of them have done it, so we kind of start from scratch. Looks to me like both of these defenses have done their homework, and they're executing quite well.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
2nd and 16. Now Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Second down at 7. From the gun, Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Second and 8. Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw is Jackson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Prescott. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. On play action, Prescott. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
2nd down at 4. Here's Jackson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a Giants 1st down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. A handoff to Barkley. And just shutting him off there. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. We discuss it a lot, but he is so hard to get to the ground, and we saw it right there.
How about that low center of gravity, the strong frame that he has? If you're a bowling fan, you would understand and recognize that ball goes right into the pocket and pin scatter. It's exactly what we saw there on that run, wasn't it?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. The ball comes out. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson that escapes the sack. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. Second and 11 now. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Jackson. He wants it all for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Travis Kelce, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Gano the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 27, Prescott. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
55 rushing yards on the ground for him so far.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
A handoff to Barkley on the option. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's got room. And he's got this down to the 35. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders. And they're rolling. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Saquon Barkley, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes our score 17-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. To throw is Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And now here is another interception. Isaac Yedem picks it. And the Giants are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
Check, check, check. 13, 13.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
2nd and 7.
From the gun, it's Jackson. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On second down, Elliott once more.
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup and mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
2nd and 10.
Prescott to throw it. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And my goodness, another interception. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And the Giants will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Jackson to throw. That ball caught by Slayton. And the Giants are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They come up in a 2 tight end look here. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6. Extra point try good by Gano. And that will extend this big lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Throwing, Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now comes the Cowboys punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Jackson from the shotgun.
This one goes out wide for Barkley. Barkley hit and the ball pops free.
It's picked up by the Cowboys. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. Again, it's Elliott. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Over the middle, complete. It's Elliott. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Prescott yet again. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up in that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And this one dropped in the end zone. Oh, looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Let's get it. Mike's 50.
This is Barkley. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's Barkley. Right side caught by Jackson. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
Right here. Manny. Next line. 14. Come off the ball.
Again, it's Barkley. And this will be a Giants 1st down as good running gets them to about the 44. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Got the remote. Let's give him a shot. Keep playing.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now it's Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out, and his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Dexter